Hello, 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 and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber, and I am a bookkeeper by day, and I'm currently working on my own financial journey and getting things taken care of. Have a frog in my throat. I apologize. um, Currently working on my own financial journey and trying to catalog that a little bit better and understand where I'm spending my money, how I'm spending my money, and do it better, if you will. And just actually track that stuff and figure out where I need to improve. If you are unfamiliar and you're brand new here, I am also bipolar and I have autism and a couple of other ADHD and other mental health stuff going on. So it's really important for me to figure out because I'm not good at keeping track of this stuff. So I'm trying my best to get better at keeping track of that stuff and making sure that I am cataloging it properly, not only for my business reasons, but also because I need to understand what I'm doing so that I can shift some things around. So I have not made a video in a long time because I spent the last week and a half going through over 1,000 transactions when I started doing my own books for the year because I slacked off, even though I promised I said myself that I wasn't going to do that. I ended up slacking off. So that took a long time. And then I also realized it just ended up me needing to go through every single transaction that I've done for the year, which was over 1,000 transactions. So I have gone through and done my best to separate things out based on a number of factors. There were a couple things in the year I wanted to talk about before I jump and share my screen. A couple of things. I started out the year with two bookkeeping, two or three, nope, two bookkeeping clients and a couple of virtual assistant clients, and I ended up the year with almost completely all bookkeeping clients. Up until September, I was still personal training, and then now I'm not doing that anymore. So I have that income in there. I was cleaning. I haven't done that in a couple of months. I'm not sure I'm going to go back. We'll have to figure that. I have to figure that out with her still. I have been having a lot of physical issues with my body. I went to the chiropractor last week because it was so bad. Finally went to the chiropractor and he's like, yeah, you got pretty bad scoliosis. So, and me being almost 40, there's no way to fix it. Um, I could, but it would take a long time and it would be very, very painful. So at this point, the options are to just manage as best I can. And really wishing that, per usual, I had gotten better care as a child and as a young person because it could have been fixed. And nobody bothered to do that for me. So I'm dealing with that as well and really, really pretty upset. Because a lot of this could have been avoided. But anyway, here we are, and this is what we're doing. And now I'm gonna spend about $400 over the next couple months just to get my body in alignment, and then work on maintaining that as best as I can. Yay. A couple other things that were unique to last year. In January, around about today, actually, I think it was like last week was our gotcha day for Timmy, and we got a cat. And we already had one cat, we got another cat. Turned out a couple months later, in February, mid-February, beginning of February, maybe, we noticed that she was getting larger. And it turns out she was pregnant. So she had 4 kittens. We're planning on keeping one. So we were gonna have three cats, and we tried really hard to get rid of two of the cats, and we got rid of one, obviously, and we tried really hard to get rid of the other two, and I just really struggled. And they were so sweet and so loving, and we love them all so much that we now have five cats. Do I recommend that, and will I ever do it again? Absolutely not. No, no more than two to three cats at one time, period. However, I do love all of these cats, and it would, if we had gotten rid of the ones that I was not attached to, it would have meant getting rid of the mother, and I just couldn't do that. So here we are with five cats. And the mom and I are working on it. We're getting there. We'll get there. She has clearly been through a lot in her short life. She might be about 3 years old. We don't know. And she's been through a lot. And I have no idea how many litters of cats she had, but she has had at least one. And now I'm really worried about her because she's just as large as she was when she was pregnant, and we got her fixed. So I'm concerned that she might have some cancer or something going on. We'll see how that goes. I want to take her to the vet and get her checked out, and that's the plan. I'm going to talk to my husband a bit more about that because two of her nipples are huge, again. And that either means, one, that somebody screwed up when they did her surgery, or two, that she might have cancer, or three, that one of the kittens that is in the room with her at night is suckling on her. And I don't know why she would let them do that, but that could be what's going on, and she's just fat. So it's a lot to work on. But here's why I'm telling you this. We had to spay 4 cats last year, so that was at least $200. Actually, it was 160 for two of them and 120 for two of them. So do the math on that. And then so 280 of that was that. And then we also had to buy 2 carriers because we only had the one carrier, and the places that took the cats wouldn't take those carriers. It's a whole thing. So, and then after that, because the place we took the two littler ones totally fucked it up, we had to go and get their stitches removed. It was the worst experience. If you are in Salt Lake City and you need to go get cats spayed, yes, it's cheaper to go to Orchard Animal Clinic, but we had an awful experience. And if you're curious about that, I can make a whole video about my experience with the Humane Society and spaying cats and the Orchard Animal Clinic. Like, they butchered our cats. One of them has, I would say she is back to her normal self, but like it took her several months to be normal again. And she was unrecognizable as far as her demeanor for a week. They let someone who had never done sutures butcher my cats. That's the long and short of it. Anyway, let's go ahead, and I'm going to share the screen. I'm not going to give you what I did in December. I will show you one or two things, but for the most part, we're going to stick to what happened last year. Let me get my glasses on. I just didn't want you to have glare the entire time that I was talking with my face, because I hate that glare drives me insane. Okay. So for the year, I had bookkeeping income, this income, and this income. I need to figure out because I don't know how much of the candle. I started a candle business and a bath and body business last year, and I know for a fact that I can write off the URL. I know that I can write off. I do service based bookkeeping, not inventory based bookkeeping. So I have no idea what I'm able to write off and what I'm not able to write off. Because we look down here, candle stuff, I spent $882 on candle shit last year. So I don't know how much of that I can write off and how much I can't. Because obviously a loss for sure. But I'm just, I'm perplexed to say the least. Okay, so here's what we've got. This is my income, total income, including other random things, which 90% of this was legitimately just, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to change that to owner's draw and owner's contribution, and then it will go away. All right, so I have some changes to do here, but this was my income minus a couple of random things. Okay. Yeah, the gross profit of 18,207, not too terribly bad. The cleaning supplies, the reason this is separated from like the groceries and stuff is because this was items I bought specifically for the cleaning jobs that I had. Design work, I have personal donations in here. Some of these I think I need to actually switch to owner's draw because in November, we had two cats we lived by a park, and two cats were dumped in the park. And when I say that it was the coldest November that I can remember in Utah, I mean it was the coldest November. Like it was wind chills in the negatives. And these cats were very obviously and very clearly not outdoor cats. They were not hunting. There was plenty of food because we have other cats in the neighborhood who come and hunt in our yard because our neighbor has chickens and we have this park over here. So, there's mice all over my yard. Our cats get them all the time. They weren't even doing that. They were just trying to dart in the house anytime I'd open and close the door. So, anyway, I was going to take them to the Humane Society. They wanted $60 a cat, even though they weren't actually my cats. And I couldn't get any of the local shelters to take the cats. I couldn't, and you couldn't take them to other shelters in the county because you had to go to your specific one. I reached out to all kinds of charities and foster programs, and none of them, they were all full, which is awful. A whole bunch of people got animals during the pandemic and are now just tossing them out in the cold and dumping them and dropping them off at shelters. And it's really awful. And I hope that none of you are that type of person because there is a special place in hell. Anyway, I have a lot of feelings about this, but anyway, we were feeding these cats, we were putting them up, and I couldn't do it because it was making our cats miserable and they couldn't go outside. One of them kept getting on the roof and I kept having to get up on the roof to get her down. It was a mess. Anyway, on the neighborhood app, people were following their story because I kept posting, trying to figure out whose cats they were, trying to figure out what I could do with them or get any kind of help whatsoever. And finally, somebody suggested that I start a GoFundMe because at the time I didn't have the money to pay for these cats to go to the Humane Society. So people were very generous and donated, and so some of this money is from that. So I'm going to fix that. I did do some donations of my own, but most of that, there was like $129, and of this is for those cats. So I found somebody who wanted the cats, and then I couldn't. By then, GoFundMe had already transferred the money, and you can't refund it. And so I reached out to all the people and asked what they wanted me to do. They just said donate it to a charity of your choice, and so I did. Um, Sorry, that was a lot. My dues and subscriptions for my business was about $844. This includes my website URLs, the website hosting, all kinds of things are included in that. Let's see. Education and training, I did about $219 worth. I bought about $106 worth of equipment. And health and wellness, this is our vitamins, our trips to the doctor, um, like the co-pays and things like that. That was all this money. So $776 of that. Let's see. General liability insurance, when I had the fitness business going, this is what I paid for the year. It was more than that, but I stopped it in, I think, October, November. I canceled that. Meals and entertainment. So this is the actual business, the things I can write off on my taxes as meals and entertainment. But that could be combined with the fast food here. And so I had about $900 in fast food. That's a lot of money, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going to maybe have to rein that in a little bit. But at the same time, I really like to have pizza once a month, and that's about 30 to 40 bucks, depending on how much we get. Although I'm really pizzaed out right now, at least Papa John's out, and I hate Domino's. And anyway, whole thing. Merchant account fees. So this is the money that I paid for people to be able to use credit cards and pay by credit card their invoices. So it's about 3% after everything is said and done. Office supplies, I spent about 190 on. Personal adventures. So this is something I want to carry over into this year. Being able to go to places like the zoo, or to go to the planetarium, or things like that. Hang on just 1 second. I need to get one of the cats in. Okay. These cats are crazy. They like to go outside when it's still 20 degrees outside. They don't stay out for very long, but they still like to go out there. Okay. And then birthdays. I want to do a better job of tracking this, because like there was food. This was food. My husband paid for our entrance into the arcade place, but this was the food. And let's see. And then there was $30 of fast food that I paid for that same day. So let's see. And this is what I'm saying. I paid $882.37 in candle stuff, and I really need to figure out, like, there was a whole bunch of stuff that I bought and then used for testers and handed out for free. Equipment that I bought for the candle business. So I need to understand, like, what of that I can write off, and what I can't. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to reach out to our tax person. Oops. And here's the baby that wanted to go outside. Yeah, outside kitty. Oh dear, you're wet. Can you say hi? Got wet feet. Get my cheek all muddy. Nope. Okay. And again, we spent a lot of money on the cats, but there was at least like $400 of that is not a normal something you're going to do all the time. We had an emergency with the cat I just showed you. She had an eye infection when she was a kitten, and normally that kind of thing would fix itself, but when they're babies, it can turn into a respiratory infection, and then they can die, and I didn't want her to die. So I took her to the vet, and that was $101. Yeah, he was an expensive baby. Yeah, he was an expensive baby. Let's see. And she's the one that just had the cysts on her chest that we've talked about in previous videos. Let's see. So I have an obsession with my phone. Christmas gifts, I spent 470. My husband spent about two. Um, well, that was on both of them. I'm not sure how much he spent, but a little bit of money for sure. Because we bought our son a tablet that's not included in here, and things like that. I spent about $126 on clothing for the boy, and myself, I spent about 90. This year was definitely going to be higher because I had to buy boots and I had to buy. Um, I'm buying new pants, things like that. We've already talked about. I won't bore you with that. Fast food was 716.07. You're back. Hello. And groceries. I spent 46, 60, and 70 cents. So I really kind of want to get that under control a little bit and figure it out. Health insurance. This also includes my life insurance that I have. And I spent $600 on that this year. And that might drastically go up this year. We'll see. Holidays, $191.18. That was for like decor items and food and other random things. I want to make sure that I'm separating that stuff out this year. I'm doing a better job with that. I spent $1,000 on my student loan, 300 of which I just got that paperwork. 300 of which was interest. So I would like to do a better job of making extra payments this year, if at all possible. Subscriptions for personal stuff was $193, and like that included Netflix and a couple other things. Peacock at one point in time we had, because I wanted to watch the Super Bowl halftime last year. And utilities, I spent I need to figure out why that's there because I took all that out. Okay, I'll figure that out. But there's $115 that probably should be down here. And professional fees, 177. And that's all kinds of things, but this is business expenses. The shipping, I paid $84 in shipping. I mean, just looking at this alone, and then what I earned doesn't really compute. I don't know if I'm going to keep making candles. Looking at all of this stuff, it was like, holy shit. It's one thing to like spend $50 here and $50 here, and this and that and this and that, and then then you see the number at the end of the year and you're like, wow. But we'll see. Let's see. Wireless phone, I spent almost $2,900 on. Utilities was about $1,965, and my vehicle, this was for like I think I had an oil change in here. Actually, I don't think that's an oil change. That's down here. I had an oil change here, and then I had like my registration and emissions in here. The fuel, I spent about $650. And so total, I spent $21,000 last year. And I only made 18. So not sure how that worked out, but yeah. Well, feeling a lot of I'm feeling some ways about this, if that makes sense. So not my favorite thing that has happened this year. Let's talk a little bit about December, though I think I pretty much had most of that. Handled in there. Yeah, I think what I really need to work on doing is calming down on some stuff like the fast food. I mean, $78 just in December in fast food just feels really crazy. Um, and I'm not sure that it was worth all that, you know. 150 bucks for the cats. I mean, I had to buy a new litter box for our cats, and I need to buy a couple more. There's just a lot. There's a lot on here that I need to figure out why that happened the way that it did. You know what I mean? So that's some stuff I'm going to work on. I hope that you guys get something out of this, and that it helps you in some way, kind of give you an idea of things that I'm going to do better this year, or just being mindful about what I'm spending, especially on candle stuff. I think last year was a lot of experimentation, um, much of which went poorly. So yeah, I really have to think about what I'm doing and what the purpose is and how I'm doing it, and what I'm spending on all of that stuff, because I could have taken that $788 and bought um, a new computer, you know, or completely overhauled my wardrobe for that amount of money. And why is it easy for me to do those things and to shell out money for that, but not on myself in things that I need, like massages or a chiropractor appointments, things like that? Why am I unable to spend that money that way? So that's something that I really, really want to look into and figure out, because I need to understand what's happening there. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to do better about getting videos out more rapidly. I've tried to buy 2 different cameras, and neither of them have worked. I'm not sure my phone, even when I get a new one, is going to record videos that are full screen. We'll see. If not, then I don't know that we're going to have cache stuffing anytime soon. Or maybe I will do cache stuffing videos. They'll just be narrow, and I don't know if you want to watch that. So let's also figure that out. Maybe you all can help me with that. Okay. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you all later. Bye.